Beloved Mooji, a girlfriend died 2 weeks ago, and 2 days before the cremation I was transcribing a teaching from you that was about people from India looking in coffins. They say, "That's me." And with my girlfriend in mind, I suddenly got struck by the idea that we both were just bodies. Hers without the animating presence, and mine with the animating presence. Without this presence, there is nothing, no body, no mind. So is this presence the same as the self? Because from that moment on, I have the feeling I understand your teachings. I feel so alive, so quiet, grateful. There's so much love. I thank you with my whole heart. Lots of love and big hug. Joyce. This is Joyce and Remco from Holland. A girlfriend died 2 weeks ago, and 2 days before the cremation I was transcribing a teaching of yours that was about people from India looking in coffins and saying, "That's me." But it was not so much people from India, it was more in Jamaica. And my own self also. I've had the privilege of going to a few funerals. When you've lived up to a certain age, you start to attend more funerals than weddings. And then I would look sometimes in the coffins, and I look at these bodies, and then I look at the people around who have come to say goodbye. And then I put myself in the position of the body, and I said, then all these people around, they are the people who are crying for my passing, you see. And I could actually relate to the different characters that you see. Say, oh, this would be my auntie so-and-so. She would be about like that. This would be so-and-so. And you really live it through. And it somehow takes out this menacing energy. And with my girlfriend in mind, I suddenly got struck by the idea that we are both just bodies. We are just bodies. Her body is without the animating presence, and my body is with the animating presence. And without this presence, there's nothing, no body, no mind. So is this presence the same as the self? Yes. This presence actually is the first illustration of the self into matter. This presence is the earliest expression from the Absolute in the realm of manifestation. It is the purest, see. It is the dynamic expression of the Absolute, the sense of presence. It is not a person, but thereafter the person sense arises out of the presence itself. Most the spiritual disciplines aim at bringing the sense of personhood back to the state of presence. In personhood, there's identification with the body, with conditioning, with dreams and projections and all of this. It's a very narrow expression of consciousness. If the personhood, the personal feeling is absorbed in the witnessing feeling, because always there's the ability in you, along with the vital force, the power to witness the activities of the mind and the body and of life. That pure witnessing, which is not identified as a person, there's purely witnessing, and there's tremendous space and peace and stillness and detachment that occurs through this witnessing. So this witnessing and presence, they are the same. But you have to remember that witnessing also carries the fragrance of duality, like one thing observing the other thing, you see. So while we have the sense of being, we being the Absolute itself, we have the sense of being, not being a person, but just of being. Then our purest activity is the witnessing of the play of manifestation as thought and time, of otherness, of I-ness, all that is watched through and by the sense of presence itself. So this, I would say, is the face of God, the activity of God, like that. But when you are in the position to also be witnessing the feeling of presence, then the witness that takes place, the witness of presence itself, it has no name. We have tried to call it a name by calling it the absolute or the unborn or pure awareness or the pure void or something like that. But these are just names that arising in it through the consciousness, but it itself is without any form, without any comparison. So that is the pure self. And the dynamic self, which is the self that we experience as the witness of all the world and life, that self, you may say it is also the self, but the presence is only powerfully available in the waking state. In the deep sleep, the sense of presence is not there. Sometimes it is there, actually. Without any bodily identification, the sense of presence can be there. But earlier than that and more subtle is the absolute, in whose presence, you can say, the feeling of existence or presence appears in that. I hope you take some time, listen again to what I'm saying, and slow it down and listen until it really, you feel it inside your heart. You will see that your heart can confirm that there is a place, a position where even the sense of presence, we are aware of that. But this awareness of the sense of presence is inside the presence and beyond the presence itself. But we cannot say much about that. When one comes to realize that state, one is often referred to as the Buddha or Bhagwan itself. It means that they are free of the rule or the rulership of ego and identity. That is our ultimate place. And I just want to thank you also. You are saying thank you with my whole heart, lots of love and big hug. The same love is returned to you, and thank you for this beautiful letter you wrote. Very good.